dear brothers and sisters, we have our last speaker of the day, and I know a lot of you have been really looking forward to hearing this on this topic as well as the speaker, and this is none other than our Brother Aaqib Ahmed. Just to introduce Brother Aaqib very briefly, Brother Aaqib Ahmed, 23 years old, is a founder or CEO of I1 Legacy. A lot of you are acquainted with what I1 Legacy is all about. I1 Legacy is a personal development venture empowering Muslims to unleash their potential by being legacy focused. Through articles, webinars, FB reminders, and videos. Professionally, Brother Aaqib is an FB trainer where he trains CEOs, directors, and project leaders on how to build their influence online. So with that, I give the floor to Brother Aaqib to share his valuable insight into the topic, Your Gaza Legacy.
Okay, Bismillah. Walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. My dearest brothers and sisters in Islam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our millions of Muslims around the world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's blessed you and He's given you the tawfiq to be on this webinar today. And I make sincere dua that Allah blesses you and He gives you the highest ranks in Jannah. Now, mashallah, tabarakallah, we raised nearly £3,000 for the sake of Allah. Look at Gaza. Gaza's raining bombs. Gaza's raining bombs every single day. How can we not help Gaza? We've got small children dying. We've got mothers and fathers crying. How can we not help Gaza? It's all about me, 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 me. Let's think of the bigger picture. Let's think of the bigger picture, brothers and sisters. This whole concept of the webinar, it was just an idea 2 weeks ago. It was a vision, because we saw small children dying. Mothers were crying. Our own brothers and sisters, they were crying. They're being bombed. They're being tortured. Brothers and sisters, if we can't go to Gaza and hold their hand, listen carefully. If we can't go to Gaza and hold their hand, then let's at least fundraise and let's at least donate for the sake of Allah, because their houses are being broken down. Now today, I've got a 4-step framework. I'm going to talk about the death of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the greatest calamity to hit the ummah. How would it feel if your mother or your father died? Now seriously, think about it. Come on. Think about it. How would you feel if your mother or your father passed away? Think of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Brothers and sisters, we've got to 10x this. We've got to really step things up. Now seriously, come on. Let's step it up. If today was your last day, how would you live it? What would you do? Now I never speak this passionately because I'm a soft guy. But when I look at Gaza, when I look at Syria, when I look at what's happening there, it brings tears to my heart. And it really makes me step up as your brother in Islam. So I want to talk about the death of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the greatest calamity to hit this ummah. And then I want to talk about Qiyam al-Layl. Imagine a whole ummah, brothers and sisters, imagine a whole ummah where every single person prays Qiyam al-Layl. If everyone prayed Tahajjud, if every brother and sister, young and old, black or white, prayed Tahajjud, and brown as well, sorry, I forget the Asians. But if every brothers and sisters prayed Tahajjud every single morning, what would our state be in the ummah? So I want to talk about sleep. I want to talk about how you can master your sleep, because sleep is very important. I want to talk about Qiyam al-Layl, how we can connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because brothers and sisters, shall I tell you what the biggest problem is? The biggest problem is our lack of iman. Our biggest problem is our lack of taqwa, that trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But no, listen carefully, listen really carefully. Lend me your ear, give me your ear. Don't turn Facebook off because the Facebook group's there, but turn off your phone. Remove all distractions and just listen to me, please. Just please listen to me. There's brothers and sisters in Gaza. They're praying on the roads. They're praying, and there's bombs flying left, right, and down the center. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. Brothers and sisters, seriously, there's our brothers and sisters in Gaza. They're praying on the road. No, let me say that again. They're praying on the road. And there's rockets flying left, right, and down the center. There's rockets flying. Imagine if there's a rocket flying in your house. What would you do? How would your iman be? Would you be shaking? Our brothers and sisters in Gaza, they're true lions of this ummah. They're absolute lions of this ummah. How dare we become sheep? Brothers and sisters, why are we sheep? So I'm going to be speaking about Qiyam al-Layl. Then I'll speak about sleep. Sorry, I just got a bit carried away. My passion overtook me. And then I want to talk about time. And then I want to talk about excuses. What sort of excuses do we come out with? Oh, I'm too busy. I can't, donate to Gaza. It's too expensive. I don't have time. It's excuse after excuse. So I'm going to challenge your mindset today. I want to really challenge your mindset for the sake of Allah. And then I want to give you a 5-step process on how you can leave behind your legacy. Legacy is not about me. Me. No one cares about just one person. It's about we. Legacy is not me. Legacy is we. Brothers and sisters, legacy is about a higher purpose. It's about contribution. It's about really making a difference in the ummah so that bidnillah, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can enter the highest ranks in Jannah. So number one, I want to talk about our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his death, those final moments. What did our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam feel? What emotions were going through? Aisha, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with her. How did Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, how did he feel? Okay? Then I want to talk about Qiyam al-Layl. I want to talk about sleep mastery. How can you master your sleep? Then I want to talk about time mastery. How can you master your time? When time flies, do you fly with it or do you get left behind? Seriously, when time flies, do you fly with it or do you get left behind? Then we're going to talk about excuses. Why can't you contribute? Why can't you make a difference? Okay? Then we're going to talk about, what was my final point? Let me recall. The 5-step process. The 5-step process we need to use to build our legacy. A legacy is not just about one person. When you die, how are you going to be remembered? What impact are you going to leave behind? Brothers and sisters, think about that. Now, the greatest calamity to befall the ummah, what was it? Now, brothers and sisters, I'm asking you, what was the greatest hardship to befall the ummah? It was the death of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was his death. How does it make you feel? So let's talk about that moment. Let's talk about that moment, okay? Give me your ear. Listen really, really carefully. Actually, before I get into that, Israel, they attacked Gaza within 6 days. From the 19th of November this year, around 8 o'clock, okay? There was 104 Palestinians killed, 866 Palestinians wounded, 1,600 rockets fired. These ain't little toy rockets. These ain't toy rockets that your nephew Azan or your niece Jamila has. These are proper big rockets. These rockets are fired on Gaza. There's 822 houses destroyed. 822 houses destroyed. Let me say that again. 866 Palestinians wounded. 104 Palestinians killed. 822 houses destroyed. 1,600 plus rockets were fired upon Gaza. Now, brothers and sisters, how does that make you feel? So when you're donating, you're not donating to a fish, you're donating to a cause. We need to step up. We need to step up. Brothers and sisters, come on. We need to 10x this. We need to add more energy, more passion. So when you're donating, 100% goes to Gaza. It's going to help them build hospitals. It's going to help them build houses. Look at the statistic. Look at it. 822 houses were destroyed. With your donation, it's going to help those houses be rebuilt. Okay? So think about it, brothers and sisters. Now, let me read a hadith. This was in Tirmidhi. If anyone is afflicted by a calamity, then let him remember the calamity of my death. For indeed, it is the greatest of calamities. The death of our Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We long for his presence. We long for his wisdom and guidance to help us through our hardships. You know, the same day the companions buried the Prophet. Just imagine burying the Prophet. Just imagine burying the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imagine burying your mother. We're supposed to love our Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, more than we love our parents. Imagine burying the Prophet. They said they could feel a change in their hearts. Who would guide them? Who would love them? Who would advise them? Who would be their mentor? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he knew his time was coming several months before his actual death. But he gave hints. He gave clues. Okay? He gave clues and he gave hints. So the impact wouldn't be so severe. Okay? Look at his mercy. Angel Jibreel alayhi salam, he reviewed the Quran with him twice. This was to make sure that everything was preserved, line by line, word by word, letter by letter. When our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave the famous khutbah, and he was falling ill. He said, a man was given the chance between meeting his Lord and staying in the dunya, and he chose to meet his Lord. He chose to meet his Lord. Brothers and sisters, if you had the chance to stay in this dunya or meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what would you choose? Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he chose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even before the companions. Think about this a second. Think about it. Reflect. The companions, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with them. Such a strong attachment with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But even then, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he chose to meet his Lord. How does that make you feel? Everyone was okay with that statement. Every single person was okay with that statement, where a man was given the choice between meeting his Lord and staying in the dunya, and he chose to meet his Lord. Everyone was okay with that statement, but Abu Bakr, he was weeping and he was crying because he understood the language of his friend. He knew the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was talking about himself. Okay? Now before I go any further, let's have a look at your comments. How does this make you feel? Brothers and sisters, talk to me. Talk to me. How does it make you feel? What do you think? Yeah, let's have a look at your comments. I'm just going on to the webinar page now. Let's have a look at the webinar page. Can you guys hear me clearly? I need you guys to talk. I don't like it when people don't talk. You guys got to talk to me, interact. This webinar is all about interaction. Can you hear me? Give me a yes, and then I'll carry on, inshallah. Okay? We got a lot to get through, and inshallah we can raise more money for Gaza as well. Okay, mashallah, tabarakallah. We're raising more money, which is good. Alhamdulillah. Let's go on to his farewell advice. Let's go on to his legacy now. He orders Abu Bakr to lead the prayer. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was always the imam for the community. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sick, more people started coming to the masjid, and he wanted to be there for him. One day he felt unconscious, and when he woke up, he asked about the salah. Salah, 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 salah. Prayer, prayer, prayer. And he was told that people were waiting for him. And he asked for water. And Ibn Abbas and Ali helped him outside. But he fell unconscious again. And then he asked about the salah when he woke up. He drank water. And then after he got up, he fell unconscious. This happened 3 times. He realized he would not be able to go outside. And then he let Abu Bakr lead the prayer in salah. How does that make you feel? If the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he falls unconscious. Now the final moment, Aisha narrates, laying in my lap, gazing at the skies, his last words were, "Oh Allah, unite me in the highest companionship." That was narrated in Bukhari. On the day that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered Medina, all things inside of it became illuminated. But on the day that he died, all the things became darkened, like a candle with light. But then the light just fades, the light just goes. In his last moments, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in the lap of Aisha. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with her. His eyes were fixed to the sky. And at this point, it was realized he preferred the life of the hereafter over this life. Now think about this statement by Abu Bakr. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him. Whoever amongst you worship Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then let them know that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is dead. But whoever worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is alive and will never die. Now think about that for a second. If we truly connect ourselves with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then why are we worshipping life? Why are we slaves of society? Why are we slaves of the system? Why are we sheep? Okay? Think about it for a second. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all lasting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our creator. So let's connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and let's make a difference. Now today, I just got some really bad news that my best friend, a really close friend of mine, his name's Qasim, he had a car crash and he's gone to hospital. Now Qasim, I've known him for 14 years and he's been my guide in Islam. He inspired me. He inspired me through his actions. He inspired me through his words to become more practicing. And I love Qasim for the sake of Allah, and it really made me think, if he was to pass away, how would I feel? What would I be going through? So that's something to think about, brothers and sisters. Okay? Now let's talk about Qiyam al-Layl. Imagine a whole ummah praying Qiyam al-Layl. Now we did a project called the Gaza Tahajjud Train, and mashallah tabarakallah, in a space of a couple of days, we had over 300 people committing to pray Tahajjud for Gaza and making dua. Shouldn't simply pray for Gaza. We should pray for the sake of Allah, but make dua for Gaza, make dua for Syria as well. So jazakallah khair for your efforts there. Now let's talk about sleep. Imagine you sleep 10 hours every day. Now 10 hours every day becomes 70 hours every week. 70 hours every week becomes 280 hours monthly. Okay? Now 280 hours monthly becomes roughly 3,000 hours every year. Now imagine that in 10 years, that's 30,000 hours. That's 30,000 hours you've been sleeping. Now cut that down in half. If you're sleeping 5 hours a day, if you're praying Qiyam al-Layl, if you're praying Tahajjud every day, then you save 15,000 hours of your life. Brothers and sisters, think about this. 15,000 hours of your life you're going to be saving. So how would you spend that 15,000 hours? What would you do? Where would you go? Who would you talk to? That's why it's important to master your sleep. Because by mastering your sleep, we increase our taqwa by praying Qiyam al-Layl every single day. Because Qiyam al-Layl, it connects us with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? Now let's talk about sleep. Let's talk about how our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam slept. What was his etiquette? What was his mannerisms? Okay? Now let's have a look. He slept on the right side. Okay? When he slept short, he would raise his right arm and sleep on it. Now let me say that again. When he slept at night, he slept on the right hand side. If he was sleeping for a short while, he would raise his right arm and sleep on it. That was narrated in Tirmidhi. Before you sleep, recite supplications. Before you sleep, do quick wudu so you can refresh yourself. Sleep on the right side, using the right hand as a supporting pillow. There's also good practice to drink lots of water before sleeping. Recite Surah Mulk, okay, before sleeping. If you didn't want to sleep because Fajr was coming up really close, so if you didn't want to sleep because Fajr was coming really close, because of the hour, because of the sunset, etc., he would sleep resting his head on a propped up arm. And when he heard the azan for Fajr, he would leap out of bed, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, pray witr in the last part of the night, and then go to bed. Cool? It's disliked to be speaking after Isha. After Isha, let's not talk excessively. It's our lifestyle, isn't it? We're eating biryani and all these foods after Isha, so it makes us really lazy. Let's be disciplined. Let's be professional. Yeah? So he slept early after Isha, and he woke up for Qiyam al-Layl. He made Qiyam al-Layl mandatory upon himself. If he did, how come we can't make it mandatory upon ourselves as well? Why do we play small? Let's start thinking big. In I1 Legacy, we built a culture where every single person has to pray Qiyam al-Layl. We set a really high standard. And what the sisters have done, mashallah, tabarakallah, may Allah bless them, they help each other via WhatsApp. You know, WhatsApp on the phone. They call each other, they text messaging each other. Because I1 Legacy is internationally known, we have sisters from, Saudi to India to Pakistan to the UK. And at times then it really helps out. Because let's say it's like 5 o'clock in the morning in the UK, that's going to be like 10 o'clock in the morning in India, right? So by helping each other out, you can pray Qiyam al-Layl. Is that clear? Now, our Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his mattress was made of leather with filling of palm tree leaves. Let me say that again. His mattress was made of leather with filling of palm tree leaves. We've fallen into a really bad habit where our beds are so comfy. Yeah, they're really soft, and what happens is we just sleep for ages. So is that clear? In terms of the etiquette of our Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now let's talk about Qiyam al-Layl. Now what is Qiyam al-Layl? Hope I've given you some insight in terms of how you can sleep and master your sleep. Have some accountability as well. Get your friends and get your family to support you. Cool? Now when it comes to Qiyam al-Layl, Qiyam, the word Qiyam means standing. And Qiyam al-Layl means standing at night. In the Sharia term, both terms refer to the voluntary night prayer, whose time extends after the Isha Salah. The most beloved good deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those that are consistent but little, small but consistent. And in I1 Legacy, we have a motto of being committed and consistent, small but consistent, taking it a bite at a time. Bit by bit, bite by bite, we get things done. Okay? So the most beloved deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the most consistent, even if they're little. That was narrated in Al-Bukhari. The closest that our servant is to his Lord is in the last part of the night. If you can be among those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that hour, then do so. That was narrated in Tirmidhi. Our vision for the Ummah is for every single brother and sister to pray Qiyam al-Layl, to wake up for Tahajjud every single day, so that bidnillah, we can enter the highest ranks in Jannah. Now what you can do is have a friend, have accountability. Because if you're doing it by yourself, it becomes difficult because you're not holding yourself accountable, you become lazy. Increase your iman as well. Don't put all your iman, don't put all your dreams and hopes on an alarm. I never use an alarm. I actually use my mum, innit? No, but on a serious note, put your taqwa, put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that iman, that faith will help you wake up for tahajjud. Cool? Now, what's next? So we talked about the Gaza tahajjud train. Let's go on to time management now. How can you master your time? If you can't master your time, then time will master you. Is that clear? It's like money. If you can't make money your slave, then you'll be a slave of money. Yeah, money is just a resource. Time is a resource. Time is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's how you use it that really counts. I'm going to give you my 5 best time management advice. Very practical tips. Very practical advice. Because when it comes to contribution, when it comes to building your Gaza legacy, you have to work on yourself. If you master your time, then you become we. Then it becomes all about we, not me. It becomes about the bigger picture. So you have to master your time. Along with mastering your sleep, along with mastering your iman, obviously mastering your iman is difficult, and spiritually working on yourself, it's difficult, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us tools and techniques to be able to increase our iman. If we really want to contribute to Gaza, if we really want to make a difference, we've got to work on ourselves. And the 2 biggest problems we have in the ummah is bad time management, as well as bad sleep. We got some really bad sleeping patterns. We've got to work on our sleep as well. My first tip is no multitasking. Never multitask. Because what happens then, you lose focus. You start losing focus. Let me just get a drink. Just bear with me. My mouth's gone dry. Can't speak when my mouth goes dry. Just give me 2 seconds. Bismillah. While I'm just getting a drink, I've just gone into the kitchen. If you can, leave your comments below. What have you learned so far? Share some gems. I'm just going to have a drink. Just bear with me, okay? Okay, I've got a drink. Jazakallah khair for your patience. Now, the first tip is never multitask. If you want to master your time, just do one thing at a time. Just focus on one thing. By multitasking, you start losing focus. Okay? Imagine this situation where you're on your BlackBerry, you got your headphone on, you're on the laptop, you're speaking to your brother. It's very unproductive. No multitasking. Just do things one at a time. The next one is learn to say no. Learning to say no is very powerful. If you can't say no, then you'll be running around. You'll be running around constantly. You don't want to be running around. You want to have a focus in your life. Cool? So learn to say no when it comes to trying to do too much. You don't want to do too much. You want to keep a focus so you can allocate different things every single day. Next one is emotionally and mentally. When are you the sharpest? When are you the sharpest emotionally and mentally? The Ummah is blessed. The Ummah is blessed in its early hours. I know that for myself, around Fajr time, that's when I'm very emotionally sharp. Because it's very peaceful outside. There's no noise. So when are you very sharp? You might be sharp at night. You might be sharp in the morning. When are you very sharp? And actually, when you're sharp, when you're emotionally and mentally sharp, that's when you start doing your tasks. That's when you start increasing your productivity. Next one is just realize that time wasted now will become regret later on. That's really big. Just realize that, 10 years from now, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, blesses us with 10 years, that time we regret now is going to become, well, not regret. That time we waste now is going to become regret later on. So really think about how you maximize your time. The next one is use a checklist. Checklist. With a checklist, it has a really powerful visual tool. to put number 1 task, number 2 task, and number 3 task. Have a checklist every single day. By having a checklist, it can help you keep on track. Cool? Let's move on to excuses. Why are we not going to donate to Gaza? How can we, make our excuses get the better of us? You might say, Aaqib, I'm too busy. Or Aaqib, I haven't got time. Or Aaqib, I haven't got any money. Or, money is evil. Okay, how can we be too busy to help Gaza? How can we be too busy? How can we be too busy to support Gaza? Think about it for a second. It's just an excuse. If we help someone else, if we make our personal issues their issues, if we connect with them, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us. We're never too busy. Let's master our time. If you don't have time, then make time. By making time, it can really help you. Yeah? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our time and help us get more done. If you don't have time to donate, then make time for the sake of Allah. You might say you haven't got enough money. It's not about money, it's about donating as much as you can, even if it's a grain, because it's all about the intentions. Through the intentions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses our work. Even if you can donate a grain can be multiplied in the akhirah. A grain can make a big difference. Is that clear? Regarding money is evil, it's not. Money is a resource. Money is a resource. It's how you use it that really counts. Cool? Now let's talk about the iLegacy model. It's a 5-step model. This will help you build your Gaza legacy. The first step to building your legacy is I think. So you make the intention. You say, okay, I want to help Gaza. I want to make a difference. You made a firm belief inside your heart. This is sincere intentions and the belief in your ability. This is the thinking process. This is the mentality. The mentality is really important, because mentally, if we're feeling shy, if we're scared, then it comes out in our action as well. Yeah? Step number 2 is I take action. It's all about taking action. So mentally, you're confident, you got sincere intentions, but then you did a good deed. You did a good deed based on the sunnah of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Cool? By taking action, that's what produces the result. That's what produces the outcome. And then I motivate you. How can you encourage your friends and your family to donate? How can you inspire one person to donate and do one good deed or 2 good deeds? And then you motivate. That's number 4. You motivate. So number 1 is I think. Number 2 is I take action. Number 3 is I motivate you. Number 4 is you motivate. So if I motivate you to donate, you motivate your friends and your family to donate. And then we replicate this. How can we have a community of people to donate to Gaza? Cool? Think about that, on how you can donate to Gaza and make a difference. Now, I'll leave it there. I haven't got anything else to mention. Apart from donate to Gaza, we got a link on the Facebook page. Let me just upload the link. We're going to wrap it up now. We've been talking for, 2.5 hours. Allahu Akbar. Okay, I've been told I've got 10 minutes. Okay, inshallah. That's fine. Okay. 10 minutes more, then we're going to close. Now, it's raining bombs in Gaza. Brothers and sisters, let's think about this. We want to recover homes. We want to raise awareness. We want to make dua. You know what really keeps me going? What really keeps me going for the sake of Allah is remembering that I will die one day and be in my grave one day. Yeah? I'll be in my grave one day. That makes me strive harder in this life, knowing that death will overtake me. Okay, think about that for a second. Knowing that death will overtake me one day, where my breathing will stop. My breathing will stop and I'll be no longer alive. Until then, I hope to benefit from every breath. Serve my beloved brothers and sisters. What is this life but a flash of memories? 23 years of my life, it flew before my eyes when I am laid in my grave, sorry. I hope whatever I leave behind is beneficial for you, even if it's a grain or a dua, or even if it's a smile. I love my brothers and sisters until my last breath. Keep making dua for you because your legacy means a lot to me. And I really hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unites us in Jannah as one ummah, as one bond. So brothers and sisters from today, what legacy, what contribution can you leave behind? It's been an amazing fundraiser. It's been an amazing webinar. But what contribution can we leave behind? What difference can we really leave behind? Let's have a look at the total. Let me have a look at the Facebook page. How much have we raised so far? There's a lot of people, they want to donate from different countries. We've got people wanting to donate from Dubai to Saudi, from UK to Canada to US, from Bangladesh. If you go on the Facebook event page, go onto the Facebook event page, and under the pledge section, tell us how much you want to pledge. We had a sister, she wanted to pledge £250. We had another sister, she was raising money offline. She managed to raise £605. Altogether, how much have we got on charity giving? We've got nearly £2,000 here. So can we hit £3,000 in donations? Come on. Final push, brothers and sisters. I'm looking at a donation page, and mashallah, tabarakallah. We got a brother Kumar. Kumar, he's donated £10. We got brother Wasim. He's donated £10. We got brother Yasir. He's donated £10. We got sister Sarah. She's donated £16. We got Anonymous, who's donated £20 for the sake of Allah. We got, sister Uzma. She's donated £100. We got Anak. Anak's donated £311. We've got brother Adil. He's donated £100. We got sister F. She's donated £335. We've got I Love Gaza, who's donated £10. We've got Anon, who's donated £5. So brothers and sisters, your donations really make a difference. Let's donate for the sake of Allah. We've got Anon. We've got Maz, who's donated £50. We've got Sami, who's donated £150. We've got Anonymous Sister, who's donated £100. So brothers and sisters, let's donate for the sake of Allah. I'm just going to upload the donation link on Facebook. So if you want to donate, even if it's 1 penny, even if it's 1 cent, even if it's 1 grain, it can make a difference. Let me have a look at the Facebook page and upload the link. Saudi is asking, how do you donate from Saudi? If you send me an email on ipoetdawa@gmail.com. I can give you details, and we can take it from there. If you're looking to donate from Canada or Bangladesh or India or Pakistan, if you email me at ipoetdawa@gmail.com. So that's I for Indigo, that's I for Indigo, B for not B. Let me just have a drink. 1 second. So that's I for Indigo, P for Papa, O for Ostrich, E for Echo, T for Tango, D for Dawa, A for Aaqib, W for Window, A for Aaqib, H for Hat @gmail.com. So if you're looking to donate from outside the UK, send me an email at ipoetdawa@gmail.com, and we can take it from there. But if you're from the UK, then inshallah donate and pledge as well. So brothers and sisters, how much can you pledge? Put your pledges on the Facebook event page. Okay, Sister Sadia says, Jazakallah khair, wa alaikum. Let's have a look at the webinar page. Let's see. You can still join now. Guest 446. You can join now, that's fine. How much can you guys pledge? Let me send you guys a link to the donation page. Even if you can donate £10, even if you can donate £5, even if you can donate £1, every single pound or penny makes a difference. It's not the amount. It's about giving your heart. It's about giving your heart for the sake of Allah. Cool. It's not a numbers game. It's a game of sincerity. It's a game of ikhlas. Yeah. I've just given you the donation link on the webinar page. Zina is the Facebook event page, which Sister Rhoda just wrote down. Kami is saying, mashallah, brother Aaqib, how can I work for I1 Legacy in Pakistan? Are you a brother? We're looking to grow the brothers team in I1 Legacy Pakistan. Email me, and we can take it from there. If you're a brother, then if you're a brother, then you have to meet me at 4 o'clock in the morning around Qiyam al-Layl time, and I'll give you some training then. We've got a really interesting recruitment selection process. Yeah. if you want to join I1 Legacy, then email me as well. But who else can donate? Let's have a look. Any more donations, brothers and sisters? Even if it's a penny. Think about the situation in Gaza. Think about Brother Khalid, when he was talking about children, when he was talking about mothers. Think about it. Okay, Kumi, let me type my email. I'm just going to reply back to you. Oh, Neela saying, thank you to Malama for hosting such an amazing webinar. Super Jazakallah khair. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, Malama did a fantastic job, especially in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, subhanallah. Just think about it, in 2 weeks we pulled this off. We would not have done this without, Sister Alima and her amazing team at Alima. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them and give them the highest ranks in Jannah. Neela, can you donate as well? Who else can donate? Brothers and sisters, come forward. Come forward for the sake of Allah. Gumi, I'm just sending you my email. Oh, my mouth goes dry, sorry. We're going to have to close in a couple of minutes because we've gone too far forward. Just going to give you my email now. Can we hit £3,000 for the sake of Allah, which is roughly $5,000 for the sake of Allah? And it's all going to Gaza. 100% of it's going to Gaza. We raised $1,000 offline by a sister in London. We got a pledge from Bangladesh for £250. And who else can donate to Gaza? This is all about Gaza, brothers and sisters. It's not about us. Okay, I've been told I've got 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes of fundraising, and then we're going to bring it to close, inshallah. Think about it. This whole webinar has brought a nation together. This whole webinar is brought the ummah together. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. We had over 30 organizations come together for this unique cause. And we were looking for an A-star organization to be the host. We needed a top organization to host this, and we found Alima because, mashallah, they've done amazing webinars in the past. And for this webinar, they've been a great support, and they've been a great help as well. I mean, all I can say is thank you to all of you, and, thank you to Alima, and thank you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making this happen, for bringing this together, and for bringing the ummah together. If we're one body, we're a lot more powerful, we're a lot more stronger. By becoming one ummah, it makes us a lot more firm. Yeah? Let me just have another drink. So brothers and sisters, 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, who can donate? Can we hit over £3,000? Can we hit over £3,000? Brothers and sisters, come on. How do you donate from Canada? We've got a lot of people who wanted to donate from abroad. I think just from the international donations, we can hit like £5,000. Guest number 446, and I'm Sabrina. If you email me at ipoetdawa@gmail.com, then I'll give you more instructions on how you can donate. I'll give you some details. I'll give you some bank details, and you can send it there, and we'll send it across to Gaza. Is that okay? I'll give you my email address on the Facebook event page as well. Let's have a look. I'm just going to give you my email address because we've got, mashallah, we've got people from Bangladesh to India to Pakistan. They want to donate, but they're not sure how to. With every obstacle comes a solution as well. There's my email, and I'm also going to post a link. To the donation page. Interpal, mashallah, they've been a charity for, wow, how long? For over 15 years. And they specialize in helping Palestinians. If you type in Interpal on Facebook, you can check out their Facebook page. They've been really supportive today. They've been very, very supportive. Okay, let's have a look. Any more donations? We're going to close in a couple of minutes. Couple more minutes. Okay, before we close, I just want to say, Jazakallah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Make dua for Gaza. If I can give you one piece of advice, one tiny bit of advice before we close, it would be think about Gaza. Think about the brothers and sisters there. Think about their situation. And work on your iman. Work on your legacy. pray Qiyam al-Layl every single day. If you want to pray Qiyam al-Layl, and if you want a sisters group or a brothers group, connect with the I1 Legacy brothers and sisters, and we can set up a bigger group of Qiyam al-Layl, or even Tahajjud as well. Yeah, master your sleep. Look at how Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam slept. Master your time. Your time is valuable. Master your time and cut out the excuses. Just cut them out and be action focused and be legacy driven for the sake of Allah. And think about a 5-step process. 5-step legacy process. Number 1 is I think. I think to make a difference. I think. Number 2 is I take action. I take action for the sake of Allah. What's number 3? Number 3 is I motivate. As a leader, you motivate other people to take action. And then you motivate. You become the leader. Yeah? If you're teaching someone, you want to make them become the teacher so they can teach other people. Is that clear? And then you replicate that model, and it becomes a whole community of people fundraising. Cool? I think I've got like 2 minutes now. Let me check. Now I've got 1 minute. 1 minute, okay. Anyone from IMALIM are going to give some closing remarks?
Jazakallahu khairan wa barakallahu feek, Brother Aaqib, for that very insightful talk about your Gaza legacy. I'm sure our audience, our brothers and sisters from all across the globe have benefited from this. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq so that we can act upon whatever knowledge we have been able to gain today.